Coming up, we're going to give our review of Stargirl, which just came out on Disney+.
And I promise in this review not to sing to Jessica.
I think we can trust that promise.
Maybe. Welcome back to Eye to Eye, Disney Through Our Eyes. I'm Kyle.
And I'm Jessica.
And in this edition, we're going to be breaking down Stargirl, which just came out on Disney+. We've already done our 3 reasons to watch for those of you that didn't want to be spoiled. This is the spoilers review. You know, it's not like Avengers Endgame where you really, really don't want to be spoiled. Most people have probably read the book, which is written by
Jerry Spinelli.
How do you know these things? Like, where do you figure these things out? Like, I know it's on the internet,
I
but...
love books.
That's true, you are, but a pretty
I'm
weird
a bibliophile. Thanks.
What did you
Bibliophile. Anyway, this is about Stargirl, not books.
Oh, no, you're not going to blow past the bibliophile? What is this?
A lover of books. A bibliophile.
Okay, anyway, me and the bibliophile here are going to break down Stargirl. So, if you haven't...
I expect you to call me Miss Bibliophile.
If you haven't seen it, you make sure you just kind of tune out right now, go watch something else before you watch it because you don't want to be spoiled on it. Because it is a really cool story, and I think we ended up liking it a lot. It's a little weird at times.
Not weird, quirky.
Quirky is a good way of explaining it. So Miss Quirkiness over here is going to give her 60-second review of the plot. So this is your final warning. Get out now. Are you ready?
I'm going to be really calm for this one.
And I'm going to need you to sing while you do the review. No? All right, here we go. Jessica, 60-second review starting now.
So the main story is about Leo and Stargirl, but Stargirl's real name is Susan, but she goes by Stargirl, which I don't understand. But she comes to this high school, and she was homeschooled her whole life, and then now she goes to this high school, and she starts singing this song on the ukulele at this high school football game. But then Leo, when he was a kid, his dad died, and so he got these ties, and this bully cut his tie in half, and it was really devastating. And so Stargirl started sending him ties all throughout his years because they went to the same camp or something, but they didn't know that they went to the same camp. I'm not really sure about the ties, but she sends them ties. Basically, long story short, they fall in love. Oh my gosh! So they fall in love, but really don't, it's really PG love, and it's really sweet, and Stargirl's really quirky and does all these funny things, but she kind of has magic, but you don't know that she has magic, but she kind of does because they start winning all these football games that they've never won before with Stargirl, and then when she left and took this kid to the hospital, they lost the game, so they all blame Stargirl, but she really
10 seconds.
made Leo be a really cool person, and then she made him sing at the dance, and she's really fun and wears all these cute clothes, and all these other kids wear boring clothes, and that's it.
I love at the end that you got stuck on the clothes thing. That was
I don't know. Things happen when you only give me 60 seconds to talk about a 2-hour movie. It's just
you were doing really good, except that you bounced, you told the middle part of the plot
because
first.
I forgot I needed to tell about the ties, and then that brought me back, and then I needed to talk about the kid going to the hospital, and then the football games, and then the magic.
All right, well, how about we start there?
Okay,
because
weird.
even though the
just
movie,
said 12 things.
even though the movie is Stargirl, and that's the title of it, and she's got the premise of it, it really is centered around Leo and his journey.
Yes.
And what he's been through. And again, what is it with Disney and dead parents? What is going on?
Single movie.
And this lately, it's been dead fathers. I mean, come on, right? You're gonna the 2 people that don't have fathers right here, right now. I mean,
bring it.
Well, look, we've talked about it before. I'm just saying, Disney, you really trying to make us have the feels. I guess is what's going on.
So basically, Leo's dad died when he was really small, and his dad used to wear this it was a porcupine tie, right?
Oh yeah, what's a little porcupine tie?
Yeah. So Leo started wearing it when he was a kid, and
why would you wear a porcupine
every single day?
tie?
I don't know. His dad was quirky. I could see you doing that.
No, not a porcupine. Birds, maybe.
Okay. Anyhow. So Leo wears it every day to school, it's this really special thing that it was his dad's, and
right.
blah, blah, blah. And then this bully cuts it in half. And the bully, I really want to punch in the face, but I wouldn't.
Wouldn't you be bullying the bully then?
I would. That's why I said I wouldn't do it, but I want to. But anyway, so then every year on his birthday, he gets these ties, and they're in this really elaborate, artistic box, too. So Stargirl, which we find out obviously later that Stargirl was sending him these ties.
Mm-hmm.
It's just really sweet.
It is very sweet, and I think
super weird.
But if you
really
notice from Leo is that he actually was a little bit different by wearing the ties at school every day too, and that kind of forced him to blend in. That's what he said in the little open monologue. And so the message that goes throughout this is don't be afraid to be different. It's one of the messages here, and I think that's a great message to share. But at the same time, I think there's also an aspect of this where it can go a little bit overboard, and I think we touch on that a little bit later. But I think the message of don't be afraid to be yourself that comes out and is a good thing to instill in people in this movie.
Yeah.
But, so Leo and his ties, he goes off to school, he assimilates, and then Stargirl comes into his life, and boy howdy does she come into his life. I mean,
she's like,
talk about some outfits.
she's like the Tasmanian devil in a really good version. So like here's
I'm
Leo.
trying to understand.
Hang on, I'm explaining to you if you listen.
Okay.
Here's Leo in his very like type A life, very, you know, structured, and this is how you do things, and you're in the band, and blah, 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 blah. Nothing wrong with that. But here comes Stargirl, and she's like, oh, I wear all these crazy clothes, and I play music, and hello, I love you. And it just kind of forces Leo to be like, oh, I don't have to be this structured little kid. I can, like, have fun.
Well, she encourages him not to blend in. That's
Right.
essentially what it is.
She is awesome. She, like, makes him realize that he had kind of holed himself up and was only friends with, like, what, 3 people at the lunch table.
Yeah, and you had the little cliques that sat
Yeah,
there, too.
and she kind of, like, you could tell she broke the mold. Yeah. And she came over and sang him happy birthday in the whole cafeteria.
That right there, I got the awkward, like, when she came over and, like, started doing that. Like, it just, like,
yeah,
it's sweet, but it's just, like,
care.
in the moment, I can't stand it. It was so awkward.
But the point was, she didn't care. Like,
well, I know.
She didn't care what other people thought, and I think that was a really good message of this. I mean, I don't mean, like, go murder people because you don't care what they think, but I mean, like...
Took a turn there.
I was just saying, like, there is an ounce that you should care, but don't be concerned with what other people think of you. Like, be yourself.
I think it's fine to not care what people think, but I also think there are some things that it's just like, okay, that's a little overboard, you know, like that. Like, if... I don't know. I don't know.
But to her, it's not overboard. It's just...
I get it. I really get it.
And I loved, like, when she goes and plays the ukulele at the football game, and she's playing that Be True to Your School song, which I freaking love because it's the Beach Boys.
Yeah.
You didn't know the song, which is hilarious. So
let's talk more about the songs in a second, but a couple other characters we want to mention. Kevin, who is the best friend to Leo, and he kind of... He's not a main character, but he kind of pushes the story along, too, because he has... I love that he has the show Hot Seat. Because he's so serious about it, but it's
so terrible.
It's a terrible show. Like, because it's not that he's bad, he's just stuck in high school where everybody's socially awkward. Nobody knows how to carry on a conversation, which could be another theme and storyline. And then he is just like the uber, like, well put together guy. And then he kind of gets his world thrown around when Stargirl comes in and she wants to do the competition, the speech competition, and she actually ends up beating him.
Yeah.
And her topic at the time was like something about, did you know rats or like...
It was rats, yeah.
I can't even remember what it was, but it was about rats.
But then her speech, remember? So she wins the speech competition and beats out Kevin.
Yes.
And he was very upset. But so she goes to the state championships or something in Tucson.
Do you call it state championships in speech? Is that what it's called?
I guess.
I don't know. It's kind
of... I don't know. We didn't have speech at my school. I don't know.
Trust me, I know. I can tell.
You went to a school with 5 other kids.
That is not true. That is not true.
35.
She wins the speech competition, but this is during the time where she wanted to revert back to be more likable for Leo.
And it failed.
She took back her original name, which was Susan. And no offense to anybody whose name is Susan.
No.
But that's just it was from Stargirl
to Susan.
Susan is quite the drastic change.
And I guess that's what Jerry Spinelli was going for.
Right.
Like, it needs to be extremely drastic.
Like, I just can't, like you could have chose a name, like, I'm trying to think of something off the top of my head.
Like Clarissa?
Like Karen. You know, like, I don't know.
Karen's on the same level as Susan.
I don't know. It just... Susan was such a drastic change for me. I know that's saying a lot from coming from Stargirl to whatever that is. But the fact that she wins it, and she's the only trophy that goes to that goes into the vault case of that school. And I think that is a good way that they showed that how she changed not only Leo, but the whole school and all the people there for the better, is that after she did that by being herself, at the end of the movie, you said they filled up the case.
Yep.
With all kinds of trophies, sports, you know,
mathalons. She encouraged everybody. Mathalons?
Mathalons, I don't know, all kinds of events are in there.
Okay.
You're the one that talked about how you used to be in like a math competition.
Yeah, math team.
That's
what it's called, math team.
Nerd.
I'm sorry that your school of 35 people did not have math team.
Couple of the other characters to mention. Archie is his like older friend that works at this camp where they both that Stargirl and Leo, I guess, worked at in the summers. and Gloria is his mom. There's not, I mean, much to mention for those two. I felt like they had a bigger presence in the book, probably.
I've never read the books. I don't know.
I'm just guessing, because it felt like they kind of were at times, they were used as plot devices rather than plot points, if that makes sense, to move the story along. So that's like the gist of the characters. Let's talk about the songs, because this is where you really liked. Tell me about the music, what you thought about it.
Well, like I said earlier, Be True to Your School's Beach Boys, which was so fun to me. I'm such a big Beach Boys fan.
Never knew that.
Yeah. So there was that song. There was The Cars, which is another old school band.
Yep.
The song 13, and We Got the Beat. Like, it was just a lot of old school mixed with new songs. And then there were a couple of songs that Stargirl had made up, I guess. And then, I don't know, it was just a lot of fun.
Well, she had, the one that everybody likes is like something, I can't remember, Today and Tomorrow or something, that's at the end that we listened to in the credits kind of thing.
Yeah.
It was fine, it just didn't resonate with me, but that's the one that everybody's like loving online right now. But
Maybe I should go back and listen to it again.
You probably should, just to make sure. 13 is the one that I really stuck out to me on that one. Yeah. And just what I needed at the end of the school dance. They're all dancing around and stuff. Yeah. That was really cool as well here. So a couple of the messages of the movie that we wanted to bring up to you guys, just to kind of remember. Be different. Don't be afraid to be you. Here's the interesting one. Those who win aren't happy. Those that are happy win. I know it's kind of I know Jessica's like, what? But
Did you type that or you read that somewhere?
That is in the movie. Those that win aren't happy. Those that are happy win.
I'm just saying, when I play Monopoly and win, I'm happy.
So what she's getting at, yes, so you may be happy for the moment, but
overall,
you're not overall
comes
happy.
From within, and it's not momentary Monopoly win.
How about this? Here's the other message I picked up from the movie. Magic can be anywhere and everywhere. Because remember, at the end of the movie, when and we'll talk about the end in just a second, where they talk about she's gone off somewhere. They say, was she magic? Yeah. You know, kind of thing. And I think, what do you think? Was she magic?
No, I don't think she was magic.
She did create rain out of midair.
Okay, but that was that was stupid.
A lot of coincidence.
That scene could have been cut from the movie. But anyway, no, I think it wasn't. She was magic. She was happy, and she used her skills.
She used her skills.
What did she do for that boy on the ambulance? That was the stupidest scene. Let's not even talk about it. It's gonna make me bad. But why would she go in the ambulance with some kid she doesn't even know?
The point is, she's trying to be different. Everybody else is booing them. She wanted to be kind to everyone.
But she didn't save his leg.
Because remember, she said the boy, when she went over there and held his hand, didn't want to let go of her hand, which is why she went with him. So it was really because out of necessity for what he needed. Look, it is not something that I'm going to do. I am a huge sports fanatic, and I am a huge competitor.
When you play football, if some random chick from the other team came and held your hand, wouldn't you be like, no?
I wouldn't. I probably, depends on what kind of pain I'm in. If I'm in the kind of pain he probably was in, I probably wouldn't be thinking about it and just be glad that someone was there with me. Okay. But outside looking in, as an athlete, I would have been like, hey man, why are you rooting for the other team? I get it. It's just a little bit, it's a little weird.
It's odd. Okay, let's not talk about that anymore.
Bittersweet ending. So they end up, and mainly one girl, that mean little popular girl, still can't get over the fact that she helped bring up some bad memories by trying to give her little brother back the bike thing.
Yeah.
She's the one that it ultimately just kind of makes Stargirl realize that she's not welcome there.
Right.
Anymore, at least. Because she was not welcome, she was popular, and then all of a sudden she's not welcome again. And then she leaves and leaves Leo behind. I think it was a combination of Leo trying to ask her to be normal and realizing she couldn't be the mean girl, everybody else kind of being angry with her for a time, that she finally realizes, I've done all I can here.
Yeah. And her mom had already set the stage that her mom wanted to
travel,
move and do, because her mom did costumes or something. Yeah. So travel with other companies.
Yeah, that's a great point. It actually made sense why it's not like, I just picked up a move because I couldn't take it. No, she probably realized, I've done all I can. Right. Let's move on with our lives and do something else. Which is kind of sad, because I thought she and Leo had a very great little, as you called it, PG romance. Whatever PG means to you.
I mean, very sweet, not these drastic love scenes that you see. It's these.
Well, I would hope so. They're teenagers, I'm just saying.
Teenagers are hormonal.
That's very true. That's basically how it ends. Is she goes off, Leo moves on his life. They all reminisce about the impact Stargirl had on their town, their school, their lives, and it's all for the better at the end of it. One thing that I did want to bring up at the end here before we got out of here: mud frogs.
Mud frogs.
Who names their school mascot Mud Frogs?
And would you be scared if you were the opposing team playing the Mud Frogs?
No,
Like,
I would not be. I also thought that the mascot guy, when his head was turned around, he had these big old eyes up there. I thought it was Winnie the Pooh, like a really bad.
You thought that every single time.
Every time I was like, "Why is Pooh in this one?" I know it's a Disney film, but he doesn't belong. And then it turned around, oh, it's a frog eyes. I got it. But come on, it looked like
it was hilarious.
It looked like it a little bit here. That's the main points there.
I think that's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, how about this? Let's talk about real quick. What's your main favorite character?
Ooh, the burrito kid. I don't even know his name.
It's not a main character.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
He's in all the scenes.
Your main characters would be Stargirl, Leo. You might be able to make Kevin one, but I will say those are two.
So I have to pick out of those three people
Pick
that
two.
I don't really like.
Stargirl or Leo.
Leo.
I want to pick Leo, but I'd probably pick Stargirl just because she's quirky. Favorite minor character?
Well, obviously the burrito kid.
Why though?
I don't know.
Why?
He's just hysterical. I don't know. The fact that like the first opening scene of him, first of all, I was like, why are we watching this kid eat a burrito? We've never even seen him before. And he's just like, did they change the burritos this year? And then he just eats food all throughout the whole movie. Like at the football games, nobody else is doing anything.
Yeah.
And this kid has this huge tray of food. And then another scene, he's got 9 trays of food. And then
Hey, you got your reasons, man.
he was funny. I liked him.
I'm judging you a little bit. Mine is Kevin, because I thought he actually was a very realistic character, meaning that if you saw your best friend get a girlfriend and kind of neglect you for a little bit, you'd be a little upset. But at the same time, he helps him kind of ground him and realize that Stargirl actually was a really good person and like someone that he needed in his life. So
For sure.
I thought it was a very realistic portrayal of best friends and what they go through, but also he was just a great character in that. He's really funny with his little, I'm on the hot seat, you got burned. Okay, favorite song for the movie?
Be true to your school.
Be True to Your School. Mine would be 13, the sweet little Let Me Walk You Home from School song.
Sweet.
That's a good one.
You're very sappy too. So
I
you
am
would
very
like that.
sappy. So that is our favorite things. That's our review from this. We want to know from you now what you thought about Stargirl on Disney Plus down in the comments section below. Let us all know your spoiler-filled thoughts down there, and make sure you vote in our poll as well. What else should they do?
If you haven't already, please be sure to subscribe to our channel, turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any videos, and like this video.
And that's all we have for you on this edition of I2I, but until we assemble again,
May the force be with you.
and we'll see you real soon.
Bye, guys.